What did you take of this statement? I want to play it for the audience. Some people may have not seen this. The Tim Pool video, particularly this one. It's a minute.
You know, there's another video. Now I'm not going to pull it up in here.
I know.
Yeah. I played it on my stream. I'm going to see how they react to it.
Yeah, I just want to see how you guys react to this. Some people have not seen this, and I know the thing is for you and I, Tug, we're so tuned into this. We kind of have all of the updates, but I get people constantly in my comments like, I'm lost. I don't know what's going on.
Right.
What's going on here? So let me play this. I think this one is the genesis of a lot of where this went.
I think is going on, to be completely honest, is that the people who are claiming they hate her are actually probably a paid reputational firm to promote her.
By the way, her is Eliza Bleu. So the context here, her is Eliza Bleu. Let me play that one more time so you guys hear that. So her being Eliza Bleu.
I think is going on, to be completely honest, is that the people who are claiming they hate her are actually probably a paid reputational firm to promote her. So that's why I brought this up last week. There are companies you can hire that will spam the internet to generate buzz and attention for you. There's no such thing as bad press. So when I see people like flooding our comments and saying things that aren't true, like I'm canceling my membership, I can see who's canceling the memberships. Like I can literally, I own the website. And this past week, we have gained slightly more members than we normally gain. And it's probably because the guests we had on last week or whatever, and whatever, Jack Posobiec, maybe he's a great personality. And so we gain several hundred per week, and we gain a little bit more than that on average, with people coming in claiming that they're canceling their memberships. Maybe they are, but we're gaining more than they're being canceled. I think that many of these people, I think two things are happening. One, a lot of it's inorganic promotion of Eliza Bleu. A ton of content flooding the internet, bringing up a personality no one's ever heard of, makes her instantly famous to even the likes of, 9-time Grammy nominee John Rich, who's not heard of her. Mm-hmm. That's the point. They want us to talk about her because they're being paid to generate controversy. They either want to, that's why it doesn't matter if we say anything good or bad.
Yeah.
If we say, look, we're doing the story, Shane Cashman's, nope, it's bad. Mm-hmm. We say, okay, we're not going to talk. Oh, nope, now it's bad. I think it's a PR campaign. In order, I think people are being paid to promote her.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was the video. So Tug, I think I've heard this before. I think I've heard this narrative before. He did a while ago.
He did a member stream too, though. He did one behind a. He hit it. That one is really I don't know if you've heard that one yet.
Oh, the one behind the paywall I may not have heard. There's this one. I don't know if it's this one that you're mentioning. Let me pull it up. There's this one right here. I'll show this one. This was a little bit shorter, 18 seconds.
I think it's beneath him. But he said, look, man, I really, really want to dig in and do the story. It's 80,000 words. It's massive. And I'm like, look, man, you do your thing. I'm not going to tell you what you can or can't write. I trust you. At Timcast, we don't tell people they have to say something. They can't say things. Someone wants to post offensive memes on.
Okay, so apparently he had oversight over the Shane Cashman article, which was just posted.
80,000 words, and that's a novel. That's a novel. 70 to 120. That's a sci-fi novel. So
and to be clear, this is definitely a pro Bleu article. This pillars her as a victim of the social media mob. A victim of big tech, and paints her as somebody who has been human trafficked. It does not bring up the statements of her friends that rebuke her accounts, does not bring up the fact that she's lied about her identity. That by the way, it was actually shocking to me, Tug, that in this article by Shane Cashman, they admit that she is Eliza Morthland because she's gone out on record multiple times saying she is not that person.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So to me, very, very shocking. So the paywall one, you don't have to play it. Obviously, people can check out your stream, get that content on your channel.
I'll put up a video tomorrow on it too. Like
if you could summarize it, if you could maybe give a little bit of a teaser, maybe, if you will.
Well, what was funny about it, first of all, there's been high drama between the quartering and the quartering got hit. We were talking about this. So sure. The first person that got banned for bringing this up was Brittany Venti. Now, Brittany Venti, of course, her stance, she was asking about her past, not to try to shame her or anything, but because, she has that zero tolerance stance on pornography. So she's like, how does this fit in with advocacy? And she was nice about the question. Well, she got nailed non-consensual, it was said. And, Yes, she got threatened with lawsuits. So then the quartering got banned after that, and then it just snowballed. There were armies of people that got banned off of that. Yeah, so quartering was pretty spicy about it when he came back. And Tim Pool, he was one of the people that platform had her on twice. So
twice. So hold on. So when he made that statement, the video we just watched, the minute-long video, where he said nobody knew about her, when he made that statement, he'd already had her on twice.
Mm-hmm.
So he, if anybody, he gave her an audience and a platform, so people did know about her. She's not a know-nothing. You brought her on. To me, that blew my mind. How could you say that out of one side of your mouth? You're saying that nobody knows her. You brought her on. So clearly some people know her. You know her. Not everybody gets on Tim Pool. You have to have a certain level of notoriety. That at least is very true.
And he doubled down on the op thing, you know, and it's interesting. I'm like, are you saying that? Because I do think that there was an op to build her up when Tim Pool had her on and stuff.
Yes.
I do think that it was definitely an op. There's no way. But this other side of it, no, this is this is grassroots blowback from people being pissed off, and it blew up because of the bannings. That's what blew it up because.
Right.
You know, but yeah, he doubled down on that. He went after the quartering, which was really funny. He he said the reason he was mad at the quartering and blocked him, so he blocked the quartering over this stuff, was because well, at first he said the quartering threatened him. He said he sent him an implied threat, which the implied threat. Give me a minute. Somebody sent it to me. I'll pull it up for you real quick.
Sure. I mean, and the thing with the quartering is, look, I mean, he's been taking these hits now. Some of the hits, because I got a privacy complaint, just like many people did. I think even Tug, you got some too, right? Now, I will say somebody brought up to me, came to me privately and brought up that it's possible to submit a privacy complaint from pretty much a sock puppet account or a fake account. So it is possible that somebody created a fake account and submitted a bunch of privacy complaints to stir this up and stir the pot. It's possible.
I think there was a group that was definitely involved with doing this. I think there was and there may have been others on top, because some of the hits, okay, if you were going to just get a sock puppet and go through, like some of these were like 1 or 2 minutes in, that's okay. But 52 minutes into a stream here, or that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work for a sock puppet account to be doing for all that. So, but my privacy complaint went nowhere. There were outliers. Like most of you had a specific thing that was flagged, you know, either showing yellow flashes, a tweet on a video,
showing yellow flashes tweet.
Yeah. But for me, it went nowhere. So I think there might have been a sock puppet account, somebody doing that, but I think there was someone else too.
Yeah. And obviously this is when the quartering, got stirred up over this and kind of sent it to the next level when he came after and hit everybody, not just in terms of making them delete the tweets, but now submitting the privacy complaints.
Here's the supposed threat. Look at this. You tell me this.
Let me see this.
Yeah. Okay. The bottom of that part. Even though our viewers want war, I don't. Please tell me this dude took her to task. Talking about Shane. So that's two statements, and he's saying that is an implied. Yeah, he's saying that's an implied threat. Yeah. He said that's an implied threat. And he blocked it.
I mean, he's trying to have peace here. That's a seeking peace. You know, he's making it clear that he does not intend to fight. I wish Tug, I'll tell you, I wish some people would send that text to me before they, said negative shit.
Yeah.
I want that. Yeah, I would want that response to me.
But then he goes into, oh yeah, and by the way, he made fun of me and he put a Jack Murphy beard on me. He was really butthurt about it.
About the Murphy beard? Come on.
Oh God, yeah, he's really mad about that.
I mean, I'm sorry, but like, Poole needs to accept his knocks for having gone full in on Jack and really had him on multiple times and
17.
having been fleeced by him.
That Tim gave his own count. He said we had him on 17 times. He was trying to blow it off, being like, I don't get why people. He brought both up. So he actually discussed both topics in his behind the scenes cope stream. and he admitted, I was like 17 times. And he said he was having them on weekends. So like a Friday stream. So that would be 4 months of having a dude on there. But yeah, that's not a topic either.
And that's a lot. Squid asked me earlier, ask Tug if Eliza is the new professor of grifting at PU.
Indeed.
And Bass says, Tim Pool doesn't even deserve the requisite attention to mock him. No, I think here's the thing. You can like Tim Pool or hate Tim Pool, but you have to acknowledge, just look at the statistics, look at the numbers. He is absolutely the silverback gorilla in the informational, space. He's still an absolute giant source. So you can't ignore him. You can't say, okay, it doesn't matter. Obviously, he has his viewers, he has his watchers, and he has people that are going to believe what he says.
He also had the power to probably stop this banning machine that was going on. That's the thing. If he would have stepped in, said something, he has power. Like, he has a lot of political connection and everything else, but he chose just to overtly. He didn't ignore this topic either. He came out, he said something about it on Twitter. Hey, you want me to cover this? Then another tweet came out where he threw the quartering under the bus, saying, well, I was going to cover it, but the quartering flaked on me.
And then he blocks the quartering, right?
First he deletes the comments like they don't exist, but there's apparently still a conversation behind the scenes. And yeah, from there, the quartering, I don't know, maybe I know he brought it up and he may have made fun of him there. I'm not sure, but he blocked him for sure somewhere in that conversation.
Right. Eventually they get there. They end up.
Well, the quartering, I think he was justified in being pissed off about it, because Tim Pool booked him a month before. So it had nothing to do with this stuff. And yet he blamed the lack of coverage on the quartering not being there. So it made him sound like, well, I was going to cover this, but the quartering flaked when we were going to cover this. And it's like, no, that's not fair at all.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is that, like, that's a false portrayal of the story.
Yep.
And a false portrayal of what went on. I think that it does put him in a weird position. I think it does put him in a Murphy 2.0 position, and that's awkward for him. And I get that, right? And I also get he's had friends that have also, put her on and talked to her, and it puts some of them in a position because they haven't made a statement either. But look, I even watched the coverage from the Hill. Did you see the coverage on the Hill?
Yeah.
There was the skinny white guy with the glasses and the black girl who was covering it. And obviously the woman took the position of, it seems like she didn't know anything about it, but she was instinctively defending Eliza Bleu, which I thought was funny. And the guy's like, I don't believe her at all. But apparently multiple outlets like Red State and other places were thinking about covering the story, but then backed down. So it was actually surprising that even the Hill covered it in a better way than I think Pool covered it.
Yeah, well, Red State even put out an article and then they pulled it. So
yes,
they put it out for a day. They confirmed that it got pulled. The writer did, but said there was no other information. I've been trying to get somebody to talk about why.
Why would they do that?
Yeah, there's this whole thing. Like, there's an answer behind it. I think there's some power behind the scenes.
There is some power.
I think of the liberal media, you're going to see silence because listen and believe. But on conservative media, this would be, I realize there's some embarrassment. You prop the person up. But even then, it wouldn't account for the just blanket silence that this has been.
Well, the interesting part is the coverage from the leftist media. I mean, we obviously had the Daily Beast, right? Mm-hmm. And that's they clearly have a political slant, right? Mm-hmm. But they came out pretty strongly by saying, "Hey, her own friends aren't doing it." And to be fair, they actually covered the statements of her friends in this article.
Yeah, there's about 85% of that article. I think they, of course, have to slant it politically. They have to slant.
Of course they do, but they just getting statements like this, like when Eliza Bleu says, "Oh, I slept on the floor." The friend was saying, "Hey, she slept on the floor by choice because she was into the floor pillows at the time." You know what I mean? Like,
we weren't in a gang area. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, she's a very powerful, very smart, intelligent woman. Saying she knows the grift, she knows how to work it. And she's been doing that. So I mean, this was very. I think when you read it, knowing they have a political slant. So you go in reading a Daily Beast article, knowing that they're political, you can remove that filter. You can filter through it and get the good information. And I think there is good information.
Yeah, 85% of that article is really good. The one thing that I really didn't like, if you remove they said that the blowback was because she represented
Tate, right?
Yeah, the supposed survivors of that. And we don't know that that's true. She put out a statement and said, yes, I represent. But we don't know anything yet. We have to take her word. I'm not willing to take her word on anything these days.
Well, and to me, and I've actually had a conversation with somebody yesterday about the Tate issue, right? That's a separate issue. Trying to bring in a different issue and kind of shoehorn that in and say, let's make this an argument about pro Andrew Tate or anti Andrew Tate. That's distracting the ball. This isn't about Andrew Tate has nothing to do with her lying in the background. Andrew Tate could be guilty or innocent. It's completely irrelevant to the fact that she's lying about her background. She's made misrepresentations. She's collected money for what seems to be fraudulent purposes. To me, I have no proof that those charities were real and that it was anything other than a fraud. So to me, just focusing on those facts is enough. I don't give a shit about Andrew Tate. And I also, by the way, don't care if there's been incidental help to victims, because I think, to me, Tug, the deeper damage is to real survivors and real victims, because any money that was funneled to her, any attention that was funneled to her, could have been given to a real charity, to a real cause, to somebody that actually has been harmed, and a charity that exists, a 501c3. That's a real 501c3.